So I am being indicted by the Klagenfurt Regional Court in Austria because I would be spreading misinformation about judges falsely abducting me in 2022 to cover up a sex scandal happening in Austria, which I accidentally exposed by making stalking allegations in Hungary and Austria in Augustus 2022. Augustus 2022, sorry. After, throughout 2022, making several attempts to notify authorities in 3 different European countries of these atrocities. Now, I claim that these judges knew I was innocent and they didn't have pressure to investigate, and also the evidence collides this, because on 15 October, Judge AR clearly suppresses evidence of my innocence and commits perjury by lying over this case in Augustus and the investigation into the Palmhouse brothel and the network of human trafficking surrounding it. Let me even explain this claim of perjury in great detail. Here you can see a lot of evidence surrounding this case. Now, I claim this judge, which you can see here in a news article in 2019, being under suspicion of corruption and abuse of powers, meddling with an investigation, was doing exactly the same when I was in front of him as a suspect. Here you can see the written transcript of our 15 October 2022 hearing, where the judge claims in his ruling on 17 October, as you can read here, that I didn't say nothing he could verify to prove my innocence, and that I probably was lying about all my claims. Here you can see the transcripts of what was really said. First, there was said, I wasn't interrogated by police yet. I wanted to testify in front of police. Second, I say I am innocent. I have also evidence in my phone. Third, I explain the entire situation with Palmhouse, with the crooks there extorting people, the sex scam going on, and that they was threatening me. Fourth, I name a police officer of this Austrian judge by name together with his police station and the date and time I made the accusations and my testimonies there, together with a description of all the evidence, which he didn't even note down all, but here you can read enough to see that his claims in his ruling are very crooked by some reason. Because how is it possible that this judge couldn't verify the name of his own police officer, a testimony that was made a month prior, and couldn't verify all the evidence that was sent with these indictments and testimony, which proved totally my innocence in this case? He refused to investigate all of this, and he clearly lied about it in his ruling. Now, the case he's lying about is this case from 23 Augustus 2022, where I make stalking allegations against my former girlfriend, the woman who was also here suing me for false rape accusations, together with her Albanian lover boy and a bunch of other people, for intimidating me and my family to hand over evidence she had sent during these stalkings. By that time, we already had pressed charges against these people for this. And these were the charges where the judge was lying about that he couldn't verify them, where also was a recording, which I clearly stated to him, where this woman came to warn me that her Albanian pimps were plotting together with crooked judges to make me disappear and sabotage exactly this investigation. And how crazy this also seemed, and how the police was laughing that such corruption wasn't possible, this judge was committing openly it in front of me. And as we also demand the video footage of this hearing as evidence, I was clearly trying to warn this judge that I didn't want to get involved in this crooked Austrian scandal. I just wanted to return to my family, and I also said that there were copies of the evidence, which he unfortunately didn't believe, and he tried to crookedly put me in prison so I could commit an involuntary suicide, like Epstein, Jean-Luc Brunel, Patrick Hammers, and a lot of other cases. Because this is what Austria was prepping me for. They wanted to bury the Palme House scandal and me along with it, because I accidentally exposed it in stalking allegations. They were prepared to make me disappear, make my 3 children orphans. And I will not forget this. Perjury is apparently the biggest crime a judge can commit. And I think the evidence here is very clear. As you can see, I declared a lot to this judge. How is it possible? He states that he couldn't verify even the name of his own policeman who sent the file proven in your own records to you guys on 23 Augustus 2022. And on 15 October and 17 October, this judge refuses to check it in the computer, where he would see, of course, the evidence. And 2 days later, he even lies about it, black and white, in his ruling. So he's either very incompetent or very crooked, and since he had already prior allegations, for which I'm also indicted for spreading misinformation about this guy. Did you read the news articles about this guy? It's unbelievable that I am now being sued for reading out loud news articles over a judge who is suspected of a lot of crimes, of which I then have also a lot of evidence that he committed these crimes to me in 2022, and which the Austrian Ministry of Justice is refusing the investigation into these people. Very strange all. So I clearly demand that these honest indictments of Klagenfurt are transferred to the European Court of Human Rights, and let's expose this big corruption in Austria once and for all. And let's maybe also send a copy to Judge Loretta Preska of the United States Justice Department, who is very interested in seeing how Europe is investigating such cases. Where a bunch of Austrian gangsters were arranging satanic sex parties, a lot like Didi style, and extorting a large number of Austrian influential people by recording everything with professional hidden surveillance equipment. I clearly tried to notify the judges of everything what was happening, and for some reason they didn't want to investigate anything. So although I was arrested on 29 September 2022, I was interrogated by police until 9 November 2022, and then clearly my innocence was proven, and I will prove this in the following letters, which were sent to the Austrian Court of Graz, to the European Court of Justice, to the Bundesministerium, to the Volksanwaltschaft, to the Belgian consulate, which all were illegally read by the guards, and all sent with a lot of trying to block it by the judges. But for some reason, the judges refused to investigate this case and didn't have any pressure, putting me in innocently 15 years in prison, sedating me with narcotics while trying to screw me over legally.